Hi, me again, Nathan Bailey, Edwin Washington Project volunteer. We're in Lovettsville today, near Berlin, Maryland, and the Potomac River, the northern part of Loudoun County. Lovettsville had both black and white schools, but another thing Lovettsville had was student bus drivers. These were high school students who were licensed to drive the school bus. They would deliver their students to their schools and park their buses and attend classes in the morning. In the evening, they would leave class, pick up students, and take them to their drop-off places for home. Now the roads here were primarily gravel and dirt at that time. Two of those white school bus drivers, student school bus drivers, were Rance Painter and Walter Fleming. And Walter had lived his entire life in Lovettsville. In fact, he started attending the Woodland School, Stone School, as you see from this still, in the 1930s. But that only happened for 1 year. And in fact, on one occasion, as he was traveling across fields and down roads to get to Woodland, he became stuck in the mud. Now he was wearing a pair of brand new red boots. He couldn't leave his boots in the mud. So he started yelling, and eventually a farmer came, freed him from the mud, and took him home. Walter grew up in this area and attended the Lovettsville high schools, and when he drove a bus, it was for white students only, because Lovettsville was because Loudoun was still segregated. Lovettsville still had segregated schools. Now, the routes to Lovettsville were to the east and west, and it wasn't uncommon for a driver to have to make two runs, picking up passengers from the east, dropping them off, and then going and picking up passengers from the west and bringing them back to school. We're going to put a pin in Walter Fleming now. Remember, he was driving a segregated system with only white children. Now, the black school in Lovettsville existed in two locations, one at the intersection of Locust and Loudoun, and the other where the African Chapel is now. It's a one-room schoolhouse, and very likely the black students in Lovettsville walked to that school, or if they had the wherewithal, their parents drove them. But the school system, its population dropped below 15. At that point, the students had to be transferred to Waterford or Leesburg, and they were transferred by bus. They couldn't go to their local school system. They had to be transferred a bus out of their town to Waterford or Leesburg. Now you see by this map the location of the two locations of the black school circled in red, and what's now Hillsboro, Lovettsville Elementary circled in blue. They're not that far apart. The second map shows Lovettsville, Waterford, and Leesburg. Once again, students could not attend their local school. They had to be bused to the nearest black school. Okay, now remember I said we were putting a pin in Walter Fleming? He left the school system, had various jobs afterward, but in 2000 he returned to Loudoun County driving a school bus. Two things had changed. In his former occupation, or when he formerly drove the bus, he drove both elementary and high school students, but they were all white. In 2000, his students were of mixed races, but no longer did they drive both elementary and high school students. Okay, now we're going to go to Leesburg Training Center in Leesburg, where the first African American bus started delivering students. Stay with me.